I think instead of our normal energy, we should do it like an NPR podcast. Hello and welcome to the ParkStop podcast.
My favorite house was...
I don't believe I can speak any louder than this volume.
The Darkest Deal was based on... If anybody needs to hire me, I can do that all day. Especially in the morning before my vocal cords fully wake up.
I don't think my vocal cords are ever going to wake up. I screamed in some of the houses. Yeah, I screamed. I don't scream.
I jumped like 2 or 3 times. That's it.
Wait, that doesn't actually count as the intro. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Hello and welcome to the ParkStop podcast. My name is Alicia Stella, and joining me as always is my co-host Ian.
Hey, kids. Hey, kids.
No, it's not bad. It would save us straining our. When did you get home? 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning.
3:15. Yeah. Oh. I got to the car pretty quick though. I wasn't.
Oh, that's good. I like that the event is open till 2, no matter what day it is.
Yeah, me too.
It's simple that way. You don't have to like check to see what time it closes. But at the same time, 2 o'clock. We're old.
Yes. I brought my ibuprofen with me for the night. It's great. I took some more when I got home so I could walk in the morning.
I had to take a leave to go to bed because my back hurt.
We're so old. I actually heard my own voice that time.
We did the RIP. Yes. I know, like Jen and I prefer to do the entire event in one night.
Yes.
So we make the best of it. We do the RIP tour. It guarantees every house. And then we had a good 2 solid hours after our tour to do whatever we wanted. And we got 4 more houses. Well, 4 houses again done.
Yeah, 4 again.
Yeah. So I think we saw the show.
The show. I like the snacks. Show. Jen doesn't like the show. I like the show.
I like the show. I think this was its strongest year.
I like that show. I like the show a lot. I hope they keep doing it.
In case it wasn't clear, we're talking about Orlando here.
Oh, yeah. And real quick, our tour guide was awesome. She was so fun.
Yes. Harley
was great. If you guys do RIP, try to get Harley.
I mean, besides the fact that she was awesome and fun and cracked me up a few times and is knowledgeable and told us all the fun stories beforehand and was courteous and made sure there was plenty of bathroom breaks for me.
And bar breaks for me.
And bar breaks, yeah. But also, like, the timing of everything was so perfect. Like, I don't think I've ever had an RIP tour so well tuned, like a finely tuned machine.
Yeah, we went quick. We even we had enough time to do to see the Death Eaters too.
That's a secret. We're not supposed to talk about that.
I didn't say we did it during the tour. You just ruined it.
Oh, I ruined it. Okay.
We just did it. Like,
I almost escaped to go look at David S. Pumpkins at one point during a bar stop. I was like, he's right behind this building. I know. I want to go see him.
Yeah, it was awesome. She's so good and she's so fun. And her eye makeup was on point. That was awesome.
It really was. I really like the way they do RIP tours now. Anyone out there who hasn't done one, what?
So for the last 3 years, I've been doing them with you and Jen. And every year it's gotten better somehow, incrementally better.
The awesome. Operations of the tour, the operation of the whole event have been changing slightly every year. And like, I like that because the first time we did it, we had like 15 minutes to do the snacks beforehand because we had a set time to meet our preset like tour guide. And the way they do it now is you can chill in La Bamba and do the free snacks as long as you want. And then when you show up, they assign you a tour guide.
30 minutes, right? Was last year is when they started that. Like, and we got there and they're like, you can be up to 30 minutes late for your time.
This year it was technically infinity. Like we could stay there forever. And whenever we're ready, we can start our tour.
And this year they let us in early. Like even before the opening ceremony, we were in Cafe La Bamba, like chilling out, which was nice because we didn't have to like rush and try to cram some food. We were just kind of chilling. It
was the first time we actually got to just relax beforehand and the soda was free. I don't think they used to do that too. They usually just bottled water. They had bottled soda for free.
Yeah, we were pillaging that on the way out.
I mean, it is expensive. It is expensive, but I will drink my weight in Coke Zero.
Yeah, yeah, I'm saying, and water.
I
We had
won't.
water and Coke Zero, and I had one of each in my pocket at some point. So
I got to sample the Surfer Boy. Is it Surfer Boy pizza? Is
yeah,
that what it's called?
it's a Hawaiian pizza.
But
So
with
it's
little jalapenos on it
yeah, but
and
it's
a
not
white
pizza.
sauce.
It's not pizza. It was like
I
a French
enjoyed
bread.
it. It was
It
the
was like a
one thing I
French
would have
bread.
waited in line for out there in the actual park. So I'm glad they had samples there.
Mac and cheese was better this year too, for some reason. And they had the yummy chicken things again that you liked.
The very, very spicy Nashville
Yeah, super
chicken.
spicy.
So, but the RIP
Yeah,
tour is great because, like, Express is, if it's a really busy night, Express sometimes still takes a while to get through all the houses. This is a
yeah.
guaranteed. I mean, you're spending twice as much, but it's guaranteed, and you walk right up to the door. So,
And you get the extras like the private bar stops and the little like you get setups for the houses, so it's which is even cooler for like the original houses. There's a lot of cool stuff you get with it. I think it's
yeah, I
worth
like
it.
the little backstories because we haven't had time to listen to the all the podcast episodes, which were great this year.
Yeah, I haven't listened to all of them yet.
We get our own little mini version right before every
Yeah,
house.
it was awesome. And I think that was the most bar stops we've ever done because we were
It
killing time.
was.
She would just like, she'd be like, we're going to stop here. You can get a drink, go to the bathroom, then we're going to go to this house. Then we're going to stop back here, get a drink, go to the bathroom, and go to the show. Like, it was like that all night.
Yeah, and she would inform us too, like if you don't have much time this time, so maybe just do shots because we're gonna go right to a house.
Yeah.
So every year we do like our own little review of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I wish it was fun. Jeez.
We have very little energy, so we're just gonna go through the list in order of the houses that we did. House rankings getting a bad rap lately, so we're not doing house rankings. We're doing what
You
was
know
our
what?
favorite run through a house. That's what I'm calling it. What was
You
our
know what though?
favorites?
To be honest though, this last year I had definite like ideas of what my ranking was. This year it's very difficult for me.
That's true. It's
I've
it's
been
easier
trying to
to
do it
not
since
rank when they're all good.
it's so hard. Like, yeah, it's like I spent all night every time we did a house. I'm like, I don't know where this goes in my rank. I
Right.
don't know how to rank this. The ranking system's broken in my head now,
Yeah.
which
So
is a
they're all
good
number
sign.
one except Chucky.
Except, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I
Mhm.
was watching on Instagram, Inside Universal posted clips from the Chucky house in Hollywood, and
Yeah, it
it
looks
looks
awesome.
really good.
It looks awesome. I
I
watched some of
mean,
the clips on TikTok. It looks awesome.
the clips from Last of Us and Stranger Things look really good in Hollywood too, but like Chucky looked so good. I
Yeah, it
want
looked
that
way
Chucky
better.
house.
Yeah, it looked way better. Anyway,
Um,
okay, first house. We're
we went
jumping
to
ahead.
Last of Us, The Last of Us Part 1, although they scrubbed that off the signs.
Yeah. Yeah. And Harley insisted we start with a good house and end with a good, or her favorite houses, I guess, more or less.
I kind of wish this house was based on the HBO show because I did not play the game. I thought it wouldn't matter as much, and it kind of didn't. Like I recognize the different
it,
types of
it doesn't matter
infected,
that much.
and I recognize the main characters, but I didn't recognize the locations, and it kind of made me sad.
It's not that different, trust me. I didn't even play the
Well,
game, but there's tons of clips where you can watch them side by side. They're almost the same.
I've been looking at photos side by side, and I'm like, wow, that is exact. That they made the video game into a house. So now I kind of wish I'd
Oh,
played it.
and Harley told us that last Friday, the second night at HHN, the owner of what's the software company? I can't remember.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, Naughty Dog. The owner of Naughty Dog came out and went through the house to check on it and was very happy with the house, which makes me even happier. We
It's
got
got to
a
be
lot.
surreal to like walk through a themed environment with real people
Yeah.
based on something you spent years creating
And, yeah.
in
And having the
digital
voice
form.
actors come back to do
Yeah.
the lines was great. Ashley Johnson's so cool. She's so fun.
And the live actors really sold it too.
Yeah, we got a lot of clickers on our run. Like the back
Yes.
half was crazy. I was so happy. They're so cool. It's a good house. It was a
Well, I
really good
assume they're going to
house.
do a Last of Us Part 2, or at least they
I
would
hope
want
so.
to. They did wipe it
There's
off the sign, but
there's Harley was telling us there's Easter eggs and stuff in there. So if you guys if you played the games, there's all kinds of stuff like
well, like
letters, all
items
kinds
you
of
can
stuff from the
collect
game. Yep. Mhm.
are sitting around.
The characters in there were great. So good.
Oh, but yeah, no,
Um,
I'm not gonna play the video game because I don't play video games because
no, the show
I'm
is
not
really
good at
good.
them. But I'll watch a playthrough of part two before we do the house if they do it again because I want to recognize the locations. At least they told
Yeah.
us too. They knew, like we knew where this was gonna take place. So maybe we'll know next time, and I'll just watch some let's plays.
Yeah, it was good house. What did we do next? Was
Universal
it?
Monsters Unmasked.
Yes. That was a good house too.
Well, you're gonna say that every time. They were all
I
good
know.
houses.
I know. I'm just like, man, that was a good. I'm still like trying to rank them in my head. So I'm like, I really
I
like this
think
house though.
I think this was Jen's favorite.
It should be. And the Jekyll was great too. Mr. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde was awesome.
This was like the smells house.
It was
There was like 3 or 4 smells in this house alone.
the rose.
Yeah, the like flowers behind backstage at the theater.
I like how you enter and it's like raining on you. You're
Yeah,
like in a
that's
misty
true.
Paris street
We redid that
heading to
one
the
later, and
sewer.
I had forgotten that it's just straight up raining in the first scene.
And the cops yelling at you to keep moving. You got to keep the streets clear, but you're heading into a sewer. I'm like, this doesn't make sense, but okay, let's go, man.
Wait,
Yeah.
how we get off the streets doesn't matter to him. He just wants
Yeah,
us
he
off
just
the
wants us
streets.
off the streets. Get out of here. Get out of here, kid. You bother me. The Phantom stuff was really cool in there too. Like sawing a face off of something was great.
He
So
jumped out
good.
and tried to like stab Jen, and they do that air blast with a little spray at
Yeah.
that exact second. So that was her first scare of the night.
I felt like there was a lot of spray going on this year.
Yeah, but
I got
and
sprayed
also
in
air
Last of Us
blast.
too. And air blast, yeah.
Yeah, Oddfellows with the knife throwing has the air blast. It's very effective.
Every time I went through the room, I just said, ow. I was like, ow, you suck at throwing knives. But
Okay, come on, let's just be honest. Hunchback steals the show here.
Hunchback is so good. I kept trying to beckon Hunchback to jump to me. I was
He
like,
did.
come to dad.
He
I was
tried
like, come
to, but
on.
he's tethered, unfortunately.
I know. I kept trying to beckon him down. I had my arms up in the air, kind of like you do, like a little kid with uppies. But I was trying to get him to come down. I was like, come here, dude. Come hang out, man.
Oh.
The hand that reaches out of nowhere too, from above you with the air blast was a really good scare. That was a really good scare.
Did you see the shrine to Esmeralda? Like that's why he's pissed because he's got his dead friends and there's like candles all around him. That's something I would have never noticed if we didn't have the RIP tour to explain it to me beforehand.
The Invisible Man was well done too. That room was great.
Oh yeah.
That room was really good.
It's
The
very
main
clever
room was
having
really good.
the person dress in black and have the bandages like glow from black light or whatever. That's very clever because the black blends away to the background. It actually was effective.
The other thing that, and Harley definitely reinforced it after, but the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is a transformation back to the human instead of to the beast. Usually it
Yeah.
transfers the other way.
Yeah.
And he acts like he's sorry, which is really cool when you see him. Like he can't help it. It's cool. It's a little different than usual. Yeah.
On our second run,
was
on my
fun.
way out, every monster jumped out at the very
I know.
end, one
kept
after
hearing it
another
right
after
behind
another,
me.
with like a music sting. So it was like da 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 da. I was like, yay! I got all the monsters on the way out. It was perfect. The perfect run.
I ran into one of the people on our tour because I was looking over my shoulder to see. I heard something jump out behind me, and I was trying to see what it looked like. I was like, I need to see what you look like, and I just bumped into the dude. I was like, sorry, man. I was trying to see what this thing looked like.
I think they did it last year too. We talked about it, but there was a lot of good projection effects.
There
Like
were
to help, like story beats were done with like shadow gags.
there was a lot of mirror stuff that worked really well with the arches and like rooms that were like, it seemed like you could see straight down like what you expected, but then somebody would jump out and it was obviously a mirror.
Oh yeah.
Stuff
That was
really
good
well done.
too. There was a couple of mirrors last year. There was more this year. Like anytime
There's
we were
way
in
more.
a forest, there was a mirror to make it look like it was big.
Yeah, it was awesome. They did a lot of cool stuff.
The second run, though, I will say, in Monsters, the smells got to me. I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much. Please,
The first
tone it down.
The first time the roses room, that got me a little bit. That was a really strong smell. That was a little rough.
Yeah,
at
but I'd
first.
much rather the roses than the stink.
Yeah. I got you.
Like, hey, welcome to the sewer. Well, welcome to Stink House.
Yeah, that was a good one. What did we do after that?
The Darkest Deal.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. I like this house. I like this house a lot, and it's probably because of the. It's not the Don't Went Down the Georgia kids. I've been
Where is
hearing
it?
that a lot.
Mississippi?
Mississippi. It's
Everyone
Mississippi
keeps saying New
Delta.
Orleans, but I think it's Mississippi.
It's Mississippi Delta Blues. I'm pretty sure it's
Right.
strong. I'm pretty sure it's strongly based on Robert Johnson's story.
Well, yeah. You mentioned that in the other podcast, and I was
Yeah,
like nodding like I knew what you were talking about. But
of
the more you
course you
talked
did.
about it, it sounds right. It sounds
Yeah,
appropriate. It's time appropriate.
it is. It's time appropriate. It's a blues guy. It's crossroads kind of feel.
And there's a crossroads literally
It's
on the sign.
Mississippi Delta, so it's kind of all right there in front of you. I really enjoyed this house, like probably a lot more than I expected, but I was happy because I wanted to really like this house.
I don't know, something about maybe it's the blues, but something about the mood was there very somber in there.
I think that yeah, I think that's kind of the point. Like it's a blues dude, and everybody's losing their souls in that house. So
I liked the devil stand-in. What were they calling him? Like the soul collector guy,
the collector,
the collector. It's a little different than just being a normal
the
Beelzebub.
yeah, but he looked kind of like just a Beelzebub.
Yeah,
But it
but it
was
was its own thing.
it's cool. No, I liked it.
And I liked they like pantomiming with the voiceover recordings was really well done.
It
Like
was.
the um now it's time to like pay up or whatever, and like he immediately starts playing. He turns around and like plays on the stage, and it's like they're like finely tuned animatronics because if you see
Yeah,
them
yeah.
reset and do it again, they're like humans, but they're doing this like set motif over and over again. It was so perfect.
The cooler thing was I would never have realized that like the more human looking things in there were other spirits trying to warn us, like other
Mm-hmm.
things that had sold their souls and stuff. It was a nice little extra piece of setup we got from Harley from doing the tour. So
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy this house very much.
It wasn't my favorite, and I think it's just because of the somber tone. It's not my speed.
I really
Um,
like the facade on this
I was
house to
gonna say
go
the
in.
theming though is it's almost too good in some points because it's like
Yeah.
this rundown and but as it goes on, like she said, as it goes on, he gets more fame, so like the places get nicer that he's performing
Yeah,
at.
yeah. He ends up with an
So
electric guitar too toward the end.
oh, there you go, he's got
A little
money
hollow
now,
body. Yeah,
right?
a little hollow body.
But the ending, spoiler alert, is like you go to like this hell like place
Hmm.
at the end. So it's very Mr. Toad's Wild
I was
Ride
gonna say
ending.
Mr. Toads.
But it's like it's not just like fire and brimstone. It is like all
Hell.
different elements from the story are now like encased in this concrete wall of death.
Yeah,
It's esoteric. It's very like it starts to get weird at the
I
end. And yeah.
did like the last stage. I only saw a glimpse of it when we're walking out, but I did like it when the collector like steps forward in front of like sort of parallel to him and says, "Your soul is mine," and the dude like freezes and it's like
Hmm.
that was cool. That was
That's the
really cool.
pantomime I'm talking about. They were so
Yeah, I know.
perfectly in
It's
tune
just
with the
so good.
with the voiceovers.
Oh,
I did find it odd though the Doctor Oddfellow's house we go into right next has the same line, like "Your soul is my." Like, did
I know.
everyone is everyone copying off the Mummy's homework?
I kept saying your souls are mine every time I heard it. We lost our souls a lot last night,
I think
so
it's a
I don't.
motif now that
I don't
you
know.
know, even Chucky was possessing people.
Yes, he was. So Doctor Oddfellows was next, right?
Yes, my favorite
Mm,
house.
really, really, I couldn't tell. I was going to say I really couldn't tell it was your favorite house, but
It was my favorite house. You know, I did
re-
slap it all over social media this morning.
yeah. The second time we went through it with Bobby behind me, that room, the makeup room, kind of where the
Hmm.
thing turns its head, we got a lot more characters in there. When Bobby and I went through it, it was awesome.
Yeah, there's
I
like
really liked that a
animatronic
lot.
clowns that all turn their head towards you as you walk through.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they got tricky with like the rooms with multiple things too. There's animatronics in some of them, so you're looking for something to jump at you, and something moves, but it's just like a animatronic doing like one motion, and you're
like a
like,
snake in a toilet.
yeah, snake in a toilet, or like one of the invisible men just lifts his, I think, just lifts an arm, so you're like, oh, there's a person, and then no, that's
Mhm.
not the person.
No. Harley told us in the Oddfellows in the clown dressing room, that's Jack's dressing room, and you can see Jack's polka dotted outfit hanging on a hanger. Of course, the second time we went through, later in the evening, I was pointing that out to Bobby, and there's like a window right there and a boo hole. Like I got scared while I'm trying to hey, I'm trying to be nerdy here and point out this is Jack's outfit, and then boom, there's scare. So
Yeah, of
no,
course that's what happens.
I like that house for multiple reasons. Like I like the concept of it. It's an origin story of an icon with another
Mhm.
icon. I like that the monsters are all like sideshow freaks that happen to all resemble elements like characters from a zodiac. So like
Mhm.
there's a goat boy, there's like a claw-handed crab man. Like so it's clever because that ties into the overarching story of Dr. Oddfellow and using the dark zodiac, but also they're interesting characters and there's
Yeah.
posters of them like foreshadowing it earlier in the house.
Mhm.
um I love Dr. Oddfellow's design and the actors that portray
Yes.
him. They're like look right into your eyes and say your soul is mine.
So good.
Like look right into your soul. But also there's a lion.
Yeah, the lion the first time through, like you looked at it and it like growled at you, and you were like lion, and then it jumped out at you, and you're like,
I pointed right at it, my hands outstretched, and
it was so
if I
funny.
had not moved my hand, that lion would eat my finger off. I'm a sucker for
It's
the puppets that lunge at you. Yes.
yes, the lion especially because it's a kitty. I really do. I think that makeup room was my favorite after going through the second time in
Oh
that
my God, Leo the
house.
lion is in the
Because
Zodiac.
of course,
And then
good
you did
job.
it because it's a circus thing. It makes sense for there to be a cage with a lion in a circus. Oh my God.
Mhm. You're good.
Okay, sorry.
You good? You all right? You need that?
No, I'm good. Just constantly impressed by this house.
Yeah, and I do like the knife throwing room. I think the air things we were talking about before is great. And like I said, I would just walk through and go saying "ow" every time the air thing hit me. Like you're horrible at throwing knives. Like just
Yeah,
making my dumb
giant
comments.
clown face you walk through,
Yeah,
great
that's cool.
sets, knife throwing effects. It's got everything. They really use the concept to their advantage. It's a full utilization of the idea.
Even the red and yellow outside with just like lights, just lighting it up, make it
Yeah,
look like a striped
the
tent was cool.
projections, like yeah, because we went at daytime and it wasn't on yet, or if it was, it wasn't visible, and it's
Yeah,
just perfect lighting. It really looks like they painted the tent.
yeah. There's so many good houses this year. But I do like Oddfellow as an icon. I'm glad they made him an icon, and I really like the scare zone concept this year a lot too.
Once it got to be nighttime, the scare zones were really good too.
Yeah, the jungle scare zone is great when you could see.
No, I kind of like that we couldn't see because then it makes the bat eyes more effective. All the glowing
Yeah,
bat eyes.
I like that scare zone. I think that and Vamp are my favorite scare zones.
Well,
Yeah,
I like the San Francisco. What is it? Something shipping yard
yeah.
32 or something.
Well, Bat Trisha's over there, so
Because of Bat Trisha, yes.
Bat
She
Trisha's
was serving, as Nanny would say.
yeah.
She was. I was watching her jump out and scare people because like she's all folded up with her bat wings, and then as soon as like someone is coming, she just unfurls the bat wings and lunges on stilts. It's impressive. It's impressive. I'm impressed.
Alicia held up our tour at one point because she
I
was
wanted to
standing
get
there
footage
trying
of
to
a
get
scare.
video of Bat Trisha. We're all standing there and we're trying to keep Harley from walking because Alicia was left behind.
Excuse me. What about in Vamp? What about in Vamp
Trisha.
69 where someone took her
Oh.
glowy wand?
No. So we're walking and one of the characters just grabbed the wand and she's just like, okay. And they're just talking while we're walking. And then another one walked up and handed her a bone. So she started holding the bone. So they had a light wand and a bone leading our
the
tour.
vampire was in charge of the tour then, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. It was funny. She's like, whatever, I'm out of control now. It was funny.
Unfortunately, we went from my favorite house to my least favorite house back to back.
Yeah.
We had a bar stop in between. That helped, I guess.
We did. It's also this was also in my favorite attraction ever.
Fast and Furious, yes. So it's all
and
about
I can't
family.
remember the joke now, but Harley made a pun that was great. She made a really good joke.
Nothing's more scary than family.
There you go. There we go. That wasn't even a pun. It was a joke. It was great.
It was like I like the way she explained it. That like Howling Hornets designed a house based on
For,
Chucky, but then the real Chucky came and he didn't like it, so he's causing his own trouble. Like
yeah,
I like the fourth wall break. I just don't get it from the house.
I think the first half of the house is much more blatant with it, but it's still not amazing than the second half, like the warehouse thing.
No, I don't
But
know. There's
I do
something
think
off about it for me. I think it's the bright lighting.
probably I do think the kitchen was funny though, with his feet like scurrying under the counter. That made me
Yes.
laugh.
But then I
I did
watched the
laugh a lot
Hollywood
in this
footage. There's
house.
like full on Chucky running with a electric knife on the counter in theirs.
Yeah.
I did not see that in ours.
I don't remember. I saw Chucky, I think it's Hollywood, where they're on the top of like a step and his arm's like stabbing somebody over and over. I don't remember seeing that in our
We didn't
house unless I
have
missed it.
much, and it might have been our run, but we didn't have much interaction between the dolls and people. And we had a lot of like dummies, like fake dead bodies already
Yeah.
there, stagnant. And then dolls doing things. I don't like the TV screens. I don't think
Yeah,
they
I
add
can tell.
anything.
I
Yeah.
can tell.
Although like him cursing is always funny, so I'll forgive it.
Yes.
But the clips of him doing kills don't add anything, and they take away time that we could be seeing the gag in the actual room. But yeah, no. I think the theming could have been a little more immersive and it would have helped sell it. I almost feel like they were trying to make it look like this is a house that's supposed to be fake that he's doing
Hmm.
real kills in. And because of that, the house at least the first half of the house feels kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on this house space, by the way, the Fast and Furious space. The
No, I don't
split
like
in
the
the
gap
middle
in the
is a
middle.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It works better when it was like two Blumhouse houses last year.
Yeah. Black Phone. Those are how those houses last year were good. Black Phone. I really like that movie
It
too.
still feels skinny. You don't get big spaces.
Yeah.
Like
I
every
mean, that
room is
works though
skinny
sometimes.
in these houses.
That works though, and sometimes because a lot of the houses that are claustrophobic are the ones that make me a little more on alert, looking for things.
Well, there it is. I think we've pinned it down. Skinny spaces with bright lighting does not create
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Skinny spaces with low lighting could have been scary.
Skinny spaces in general at the houses make things scary.
Yeah, not this time. Not when they're
It's too
colorful
hard
and
to
bright.
yeah, it's too hard to see around corners or like see some of the jump out spaces. So, what did we do after Chucky? Was definitely the weak house for me.
I wanted to
still
like it. I do
I
love
wanted
Chucky.
to too. Chucky's awesome. What did we do after that? Was that
It's funny. My biggest scare in the Chucky house was a boo hole opened up and a doll flies out in my face, but I can see like the actor's hand holding just a regular doll. Like there's nothing, but it still was effective. I was like, "Here's a doll."
You're like, here, this is
Okay,
for you.
it's fine. It works. Yeah, we did Yeti next. Campground Kills.
Yeti was more of a set house for me. I really enjoyed the sets, and some of the characters, like the humans that were in it, were great too. Like
Like the
second,
one guy.
the second
What
time we went through
is
it,
going on?
I looked at it like he popped out right in my face when he did that. And I was like, I have no idea, sir. But I like talking back to him. I think
It was like little kid is like, I killed it, I killed the baby.
I do really like
It's
the
so
sets in
overt.
Yeti
I love
a
it.
lot. I like the sets a lot in Yeti.
That's another one where I don't think without being explained the plot, I would have got that a child killed the baby Yeti and now all the Yeti parents are pissed.
Well, the funny thing is Harley, the first time Harley told us that we're on Team Yeti, and I'm like, then why are they, like, we're walking through, I'm like, why are they all trying to kill me then?
Yeah, but
I'm on your side.
no, I sympathize with the Yeti.
And the other,
poor
yeah,
baby is
exactly.
just laying there.
Poor kid, just, yeah, you did notice, I think I noticed a little more too on the second run that there's actually more than one kind of Yeti in there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't notice it the first time. I just saw like the newfangled long jaw Yeti, the brown
Yeah.
campground Yeti. But in the second run, there's like 5 different Yetis, and our favorite snow Yeti was there from the other year, as one of the Yetis, and I was like, "There's my baby." He's the big actual Yeti.
Yeah.
But there was one with like weird like predator jowls sticking out of his face. That one was
Yeah.
actually scary. I liked that Yeti. I think he was
And this
over by the
house-
lake. You didn't even see the lake. You and Jen didn't even see the lake in the first
And I was too
run.
busy looking
You're-
at the window because somebody was talking to me
What
the first time
is
too.
going on here?
No, the first time there was that too, but the second time I was like, "Hey, look, it's Twister," because that was like we were walking on the deck. all
Oh,
that.
this is the one too that has like a cabin that the second floor collapsed.
Yep, and this has the bear.
Oh my God, yes, the bear.
The bear scared the crap out of you the first
I
time.
didn't know it moved. I didn't know. I thought it was
It looks
stationary.
really good when it doesn't
It's a
move,
stuffed
and then
bear in a
it's
lodge.
it's not small.
It came for me. And then the second time we went through, I like had my hands up. I was like, please don't. I'm like the meme of Tommy Lee Jones is like, no,
You're
no,
like, I can't take a second one of those.
no. He still
I've-
came for me.
I liked Yeti a lot, but I really enjoyed the sets in there. It was cool to be walking through all the cabins and the
I mean,
campground and all
admit
that.
it, you liked it more the second run, but
Yeah,
also
the second time we had a better run.
But also it was like a bonus house because we went in there with 1.5 minutes left of the event.
Yeah, you
We
ran up and you're like, "Can we go in?"
Is it still open? Is it still open?
There was like 4 people blocking the entry from
Yeah, they were
Universal,
trying to
and
persuade us into thinking that the event was over. I'm like, I have a time.
Yep.
We have a synchronized phones now that tells the exact time. I have 1.5 minutes to get into this house because we just got out of our second run of dragons, and luckily the exit and entrances to those are so close.
Yeah.
So we got one more run, and that was a really good run. So Yeti is actually my second favorite house, I think.
It was really good. Like I said, I really enjoyed the sets in the house. Especially.
It hits all the
like
little
around.
marks that I like about houses.
We did dragons next, right?
Yes, we
right
did
there.
dragons next.
I like dragons a lot, but
I wanted to love it.
Sucker for dragons, as I've said on this podcast before, like all that like sword and sorcery stuff, and the fact that there were so many nods to the land before it became whatever it is now.
It's so funny to me that I went through it. Like, I realize now, like, I went through it the same way I went through Beetlejuice or Ghostbusters, where it wasn't about the scares. It was about recognizing the property. But it's a homegrown property based on the actual parks. So it's not a big movie from my childhood or something like the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, when the first scare actor popped out, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be scared in this house. I'm just going to look around a lot. I wasn't. It a lot.
I want more moving dragons or dragon pieces.
Yeah.
I will admit the costume and makeup design of the wizard minions,
the warlock minions,
warlocks. So
yeah,
warlocks.
They looked awesome.
They look great. It's a great fantasy design, and the special effects are on point. But it's
the walls too, like when you first go in, like the ice hits and then
it's fire hits and ice hits
and
using RGB LEDs and like spirals of like
it's so cool.
That was in the sound effects too. It's all selling it. It's very, very cool.
Then you walk through the Merlinwood Oak, which is cool, and the castle's
the Enchanted
cool.
Oak
and
Tavern entry is massive.
2 times you come across the troll.
I did like the troll design a lot.
The troll.
If anything was scary, it was the
club.
troll.
Had the club.
And that's like a Lost Continent deep cut too, because there's the troll sound effects behind Mythos.
It's so good.
But like all the sets taken directly from the queue.
Yeah, we got the stained glass in the book.
Mm-hmm. And I yelped when we got finally to the catacombs with the bones everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, there it is! They did it! They did it!
They still have some of the frozen stuff, like the knights and all that. And
yeah, even the entry into the castle looked the same. And then the room that was like they kind of combined it into one space, but it was the fire and the frozen.
And they did the 2. You could choose your path, choose your fate. So it's basically 2 endings or 2 paths, but 4 endings because you can win or lose either side. We lost one and we won one. And Merlin looked awesome.
We chose fire. I made everyone choose fire the first time because I always wrote fire because fire has the negative G moment at the beginning and fire is better. Mm-hmm. And we lost that one and they were holding Merlin's head.
Poor Merlin.
We went back second to last run. We did the ice and we saved Merlin.
We did. Merlin looked great. And the ice side is a little tiny bit longer. It's a little bit longer if you go ice.
What, like 10 feet? So wait.
Yeah.
Was the story that longer. Merlin was the tree?
So Merlin is the tree. He was
cursed to be a tree.
He was cursed to be a tree. His spell book was there, so he cursed his spell book for anyone that tried to take it that wasn't trying to free him.
Right. So
So it's
unfortunately,
two
we only get to see
warlocks.
Merlin if we win, and he's only there for 2 seconds on our way out. And he was like one
Yeah.
of the best costume designs too. That's
But you
unfortunate.
hear him talking the way in too, like he's like
Yeah.
telling you. But it's two warlocks fighting over the book, and they're cursed to become the dragons, and then
Did
the
you
minions
catch?
stay and fight.
Did you catch what he called us when we entered through his mouth? I guess if
What
he's the tree.
what did he call us?
He's like, "Adventurers, your
Yes.
quest has just begun."
I just wanted to hear you do that.
Thank you. That's actually too good. I mean,
It's
I
yeah,
think with
he
the
looked
scratchy throat, that came out too good.
I really enjoyed this house again. It's just a combination of nostalgia and stuff that makes me like it so
Like it's
much. I admit
already
it, but
begun.
yeah, and I like
Adventurers, your quest has already begun.
we're doomed.
And then-
And they do a little story setup with posters on the way in too, like hanging over your head.
Yeah, those like very Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's I have the weirdest complaint. It was too good. I was too focused on the artistry that it was
yeah.
not a haunted house. It was a
No,
beautiful fantasy walkthrough with a gorgeous like set design, beautiful costumes, incredible sound effects and special effects, and not scary.
yeah. Well, I mean, not all the houses are scary to me anyway, but I just like walking through the sets.
That's true. Some were just for vibes, like last year's the wharf
Yeah, Dead
wasn't
Man's
really too
Pier.
scary. But this one's all for the adventure.
Yeah, this one wasn't scary at all. It was just super fun to walk through. There's a couple of characters that are not like obviously ice or fire too. So
What are they? Oh,
I don't
trolls?
know. I don't know. They're not trolls. There was
Oh,
like a
so those aren't ice or there's just trolls.
yeah, they're just trolls. I don't know what the other characters were, but there were some that were mostly black clothing and came out with like claws, and I couldn't tell what they were. So
Oh, those
just
are
thought they were cool.
stagehands.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I really liked this house. It was cool. I'm glad we did it a second time. I think the second walkthrough we got was slightly better than the first
Well, we
one.
knew what to expect too, so we can just really enjoy
Yeah.
it. There was one dragon hand. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it
One
got me
little red dragon hand.
it sort of got me the first time. I don't remember what house it was in, but the first scare I got, it was from a very narrow opening for someone to step out of, and I didn't expect anybody to step out of it because it was so narrow.
Did you see the window on the right that just has like dragon red scales, like it's
Yeah,
close
yeah.
to the window?
Yeah, like right after where the foot
Yeah,
hand
the little tiny
thing.
hand. It's my little dragon hand. I'm gonna get you.
which is clearly a hand with a glove on.
I'm puppet dragon hand.
Yeah.
There's some flying dragon silhouette shadow gags too, so
Yeah, there's
it's
some
all
cool
good.
stuff. There was some cool stuff in that house.
Burning Ember Man. That's what it was.
Burning Ember Man.
Yeah, one of the scare actors just comes out all burnt up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot. And then
yeah. And there's like a smell of burning in that little chamber. All right. Stranger Things 4.
it's fine. It wasn't
It's
scary.
fine.
It was cool just to walk through this, like the movie. I wanted to stay in the Metallica room because that scene is so good, and it was really well done in the house too.
Is it really well done though?
I thought it was pretty well done. I don't think it's like amazing, but
I feel like we have to fix the seam on the ceiling somehow.
I
We need
wish
some kind of gradient on that projection that would think would have sold it a
that,
little
and
bit more.
also I wish that they were up higher, so it felt like we were actually looking.
Yeah,
up
it's
in a
weird that
bigger
we were on the
space.
same level as them.
Yeah, I wish it was up a little higher, like we
If
were
they were
actually
up
looking
4
up at them.
feet higher.
Yeah, it would have
Just
felt
4
better.
feet. And if there was a black gradual gradient on the top of the projection behind them, because the projection behind them was pretty good, but it cuts off so perfectly at the top. The house was fine. I don't know why it didn't hit for me. The whatever the Vecna guy is when he's human, his character, he was scary. I think we needed more human him, honestly.
Yeah,
Because
There's
that one moment we saw with him and 11 was actually pretty scary.
it was really cool actually, and it was
It was
cool
very
that we were like
realistic.
walking through the middle of it too.
Yeah, right between them. You could feel the gust of energy coming from 11 blowing up, which creates the portal in the first place. Like, I'm glad they recreated that moment. And then
Yeah.
going into Vecna's, like, mind layer.
Yeah, that thing. Mhm.
His house where it's all deconstructed and floating and stuff. The whole house was worth it for that one scene. It's
Yeah,
so
I mean-
big and grand, and that obviously they built it around that and the rooftop scene. But like that scene was sold so much better for
Yeah,
Vecna's house.
it's fine. I mean, like I said, it's just kind of like walking through. Like it was cool to just be able to walk through the scenes and
Did you
parts
look
of the
up in the
story.
ceiling and see the right side up world above
Yeah.
us
Oh yeah, I was staring up at that from
with
the
the
this from the scene where they climbed
yeah,
up
with like
and then
the
back
sheets tied
down.
together between them, and you could see upside down Dustin in the
Yeah.
right side up because we were in
So
the
good.
upside down.
It was awesome. That was well done. I like that. Yeah, I screamed Max when I saw Max floating. The Vecna looked pretty good though. The costume wasn't too bad.
No, costume was great with the long fingernails, especially the version in his mind was perfect.
Yeah, he stepped out and he put his hand out right in front of my face and he twisted
Hmm.
his hand. So when he did, I turned my head with it just to try and make it more fun.
But then when you get to the one with all his like tentacles wrapping around and stuff, and it's not moving and it's just stationary.
Yeah, but the
That's a
lighting
problem.
was cool in that.
The last Stranger Things house had too. It was just too many stationary things for my taste.
It's fine. It's cool to walk through the scenes. It kind of was just very, like, it's a good house, but it's kind of meh compared to the rest of them.
It's crazy how good some of the originals were. That Stranger Things is like my favorite TV show. It's my ringtone. It's been my ringtone since season 1. It's still my ringtone, and yet I'm like, it's like sixth on my list, maybe seventh,
Yeah,
maybe eighth. Like,
definitely middle house.
but it's so good. It's just our standards have been have been raised.
It's not even just the standards; it's just the houses this year. They're so good.
Yeah, no, it was all worth it for the one scene. It was big.
And
They
what
took
did we
advantage
do
of
after that?
space.
Are we done?
We
on
did
the
The
last?
Exorcist Believer. We had an argument upstairs at the Fallon bar over what we would do next because she was letting us pick the order. And we did a vote and we were split directly down the middle over whether we would do Exorcist or Blood Moon last. Which one did you pick? Blood Moon, right?
Blood Moon every time because I wanted to see sets. She described it as another set house, so I wanted to
I
see
wanted
sets.
to end on Blood Moon. I thought it was a cool vibe house. Like I wanted to enjoy and I haven't seen The Exorcist Believer because it's not in theaters yet.
Yeah,
We still have like 4 weeks until that happens.
She described it as The Exorcist was scarier, but the Blood Moon was better sets, basically.
Yeah.
Like a better
So I'm always
vibe.
going to pick better sets last.
Yep, me too.
But after she explained it, I noticed that a few people changed their votes, so we got to do Blood Moon last. I actually was surprised how much I liked The Exorcist house.
I liked it a lot too. I just she talked it up and I thought it was going to be scarier than it was, but it didn't really bother me at all. So I just liked looking around the rooms and stuff a lot in that house.
As we're walking toward, I'm like, it better have Tubular Bells. And as soon as we walk in, Tubular Bells is playing. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. This is fine. It gets my stamp of approval. And it played it twice, too. It played it at the end, too. It's like, now I really hope the movie has it. Because I like a direct sequel to The Exorcist better have Tubular Bells.
I just want to see the movie now. Like, that's really, it was like you put it. You're like, oh, we just walked through a trailer.
Yeah, it didn't really, I feel like it didn't give away too much, but it also persuaded me to watch this movie, especially the reverse upside down puking at the ceiling moment. I'm like, this is such a Blumhouse thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Gross out weird, like taking something from the first movie and making it weirder and esoteric. That's a thing too. Like the original Exorcist house did the same Reagan in the bedroom scene over and over again until it started getting weird. Like the whole room would change. And they did that this time too. We went through the same rooms and then we went through a second time, but it got weird.
Yeah. I liked a lot. Like the one time we went through the bedroom and one of the girls was sitting in a chair, like freaking out. I was glad that it wasn't like a dummy or something. They actually had his character sitting in the chair doing that stuff. It looked awesome. Was really cool.
And like the floorboards had glowing wood underneath it, like like beams of light coming through the seams. And we were both staring at it like, how are they doing this effect? I was really confused.
And then the room where they had like the circle, like with the symbols and stuff painted. I'm like the 2 chairs in the middle. I was looking at the floor again there too. I'm like, I just looked at the floor a lot in this house.
There was some good floors in The Exorcist Believer.
It's crazy. Was that the one that had carpeting? I was like, this has carpeting. It's weird. I'm used to walking.
I don't know, but there was a lot of like 1-inch height differences in a lot of the rooms this year.
Yeah,
it was very like because I normally scoot my feet. I don't pick them up. When I go through the houses, like I'm always afraid I'm going to step on someone's foot or something because we're all shuffling through in the conga line. So I usually just like slide my feet, and I couldn't do it this year because there were so many just like 1-inch differences, and I'm worried people are going to trip.
I held up a little bit in that house because there's another stairwell with a video playing, like a silhouette video, and I wanted to see
Yeah.
it, but I only
I
saw
almost
part
kept
of it.
expecting her to crab walk down the stairs from the way the stairs are
Oh,
positioned.
okay, that would have freaked me out. But yeah, so I saw The Exorcist, the original one, when I was 5, and then I saw the crab walk and the bonus stuff, and it freaked me out like crazy. It's so
Yeah.
well
I can
done,
see why
but
they
that
would
would have
cut it
freaked me
because it
out.
feels like she's not touching or whatever, but still.
It's creepy looking though.
Yeah, it sticks with you.
I think the fact that she's not, it looks off, makes it even freakier looking. But
It was too good for the movie. The movie's too
yeah,
realistic. That's why the
oh,
first one.
I saw it when I was 5. It's the only movie that gets to me at all. Still,
I went to bed, um, maybe 6 or 7 years old, and my parents watched it in the other room, and I couldn't sleep because I kept hearing a demon voice.
as
I'm
you
like
do.
trying to sleep, and it's just like I'm like, oh my god. So that's the first scary movie I didn't watch, but it still gave me nightmares.
Yeah,
And then Blood Moon Dark Offerings, which I could have benefited from a second run. I wish we had a little more time to go back and do that one again because there is a lot to take in.
this house was scarier in my opinion than The Exorcist, but it's because there were so many rooms with things in cloaks that you couldn't tell which was real.
Yeah, it's a good way
But
to hide the fake and the real people because they're all in
yeah,
cloaks.
I did really enjoy this sets. This was definitely like an attempt at Dead Man's Winter, kind of, or Dead Man's Pier, kind of part 2. Like they did
Yeah,
the
but Dead
bell
Man's Pier had
tower.
the elevation changes, and I think that
Yeah,
that gives it the one up. But I did like the town square on this one, and then when we go around, you can still see it through windows. And there was even a little tiny alley at one point; you could see the town square again.
you could see the moon too a lot. I kept
Yeah,
looking through the ceiling.
and
I
of
do
course
like
the bell tower, of course,
the bell
also you
tower's
see
great.
from multiple spots.
I do like we got to the town center and I looked at you. I go, hey, look, the little kids are playing with intestines. And you're like, is that what that is? I'm like, it's not a rope.
Yeah, I would not have if you had not pointed it out. I would not have guessed. I'm like, I guess that's intestines. Okay,
It's
sure.
not a rope. Yeah,
It was a good
the
harvest that year.
yeah, the kids are creepy and they don't even move. They're just creepy.
There was
Kids are always creepy in horror stuff,
they
though.
had stuck little squashes and pumpkins into the
Oh
open
yeah.
cut open orifices of all the bodies. By the way, this is a rated PG-13 podcast episode. And I'm like, look, pumpkin spice bodies.
Yeah, then I said minced meat. Oh
Yeah,
man.
it's a good
So good.
harvest. It was a
It's
good
good.
harvest.
It was
The
I
end.
really
The
enjoyed
end
it.
had. Did you see the giant statue made of human bodies
Mm-hmm.
at the end?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm going crazy.
It was
Jen's like, I think I missed that. Like, how did you miss the 20-foot statue at the
I
end?
swear I saw that.
It's so brief. It's like we're walking toward the exit and like, oh, but and by the way, here's the finale and there's a giant statue thing. I can barely. It was very Cronenberg. That was like, is there bodies stacked on top of this? What is this?
it, the house was so good, and like having like the sort of like Puritan kind of vibe, like Overtown, and then calling it Parish Town too. Like it's kind of well thought out there. But
Mhm.
there's multiple rooms and multiple things standing, and I'm just like, which one's coming for us? Because
Yeah,
I
there's like the
don't
pews
know.
of people, and you don't know if any of them. No
Yeah,
one
right
jumped
when
out of us. That's the scariest part.
no, not that time. But then when you first entered, there, the first thing you see is another room like that because they're all like standing around and that person's like preaching to them from up high. And then one of them moved, and then another one, and then another scare actor jumps out before you take the turn. But yeah, that first room you go into is a bunch of things that you walk right next to that are all cloaked and standing there while someone's preaching at them. It's crazy. It's a crazy way to start a house.
I think some people said this is their favorite year for houses since 25. Um,
Yeah, it's so
I'd say
good this
that
year.
that's a good comparison because I think I remember 25 being a very good year. I mean, there's houses I really liked last year, but this year is weird how I liked all of them except one. The
Yeah, it's just there's
Poor Chucky.
so many
I
good
feel so bad.
houses.
Poor
I
little
can't even
guy.
say I don't like it because it's Chucky, so I kind of expect it to be a little cheesy. I wish it was better, but Chucky makes me laugh. I can't help it. He always makes me laugh. I never found him scary, so
I mean, I remember there was some clown house, um, and also like some 3D Alice in Wonderland type house, all in like the
hmm
Shrek space. And I remember like not liking him that much, but like Dr. Oddfellow is like a clown house, sort of, but it's so well done. So like sometimes the subject material like I thought I hated clown houses, but Dr. Oddfellow is like my favorite in a long time. And like I think I love Chucky, but this Chucky one didn't do it for me. So, sometimes it's not just the subject matter, it's just the way that it's utilized.
So you're saying that it's not about the IP. How weird is that? Sorry.
Oh, it's definitely not about the IP, because if
How
that were
weird is
true,
that?
Dueling Dragons would definitely be my favorite this year.
I tend to generally prefer the original houses, I think, most of the time.
But I have like a weird emotional attachment to Yeti from the first Yeti house. So like
Yeah.
I want Yeti to be my favorite. But I was the like scares and interesting things in Dr. Oddfellow, one after another It was so perfect. Because
Yeah.
it was
I'm
like scare, scare,
like I
scare,
said.
really good Dr. Oddfellow, serious moment, and then silly scare, silly, silly scare, scare, lion.
You know what though? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's pretty evenly split, but I think the majority of the houses that are original or Universal owned property are kind of like the monsters would be what I would include in that. The 5 originals and then that. I think
Yeah,
those are probably
I
them.
like some of the IPs more than like
It's
the
rare that
Darkest Deal, but I recognize the Darkest Deal's very high
yeah.
quality house.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, in general, I think I tend to like the originals better more than the IPs, but I do enjoy walking through the IP houses.
Well, this is what, see, now we've reached the peak Halloween Horror Nights fan. We've reached the point where we realize the originals are better.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's very mature of us.
it's just I don't want to like not I don't want to like be against the IPs because it's cool to walk through the IP houses, but I'm just happy they keep doing Universal Monster houses. We just need more Wolfman in my life because Wolfman. But
Yes. I like that they kind of focus on one for most of it and then throw in more for the second half. Like this was a Phantom house for the first half.
yeah,
And then we got a whole bunch of stuff at the end for
yeah,
different
but it
characters.
kind
But
of
like
morphed. Like it started Phantom, and then what? Then it went.
Hunchback.
No, it went Invisible Man for a second after
Oh yeah,
Phantom, didn't
Invisible
it?
Man. I
And
always forget him
then,
because he's invisible.
of course, and then we
But
did
those moments are
Hunchback.
so much shorter than the Phantom, who gets a literal first 48% of this
Yeah, there's
house.
a lot of walking through curtains, and I was like, I don't trust any of these rooms. Not a single one of these rooms.
Any other final thoughts? We didn't really talk about the show, but we always enjoy the
I love this show.
Nightmare Fuel. The ladies dancing with the fire is always in kind of impressive, but also like now that I'm used to it, I'm like, what are they gonna do that's different this time? And I'm like, oh, more ladies with more fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
more ladies with more fire.
They usually do like the same 3 magic tricks, but they dress the other 2 differently.
They did.
Like they always start with the bed, but now I understand it's because that's you have to go to your nightmare. Like that's
Mhm.
fine. But the second trick this time, or one of the tricks this time, the guillotine one was really good.
That was awesome.
Like I was not expecting it to be that good.
It was really good. And then they made the catwalk thing, so they were up in the middle in the crowd more often.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
I
really
know.
well done.
I mean, I'm not crazy, right? The first 2 years was the main protagonist was a man, right? And
Yeah,
this
I
time it
think
was a lady.
that's what I remember. I
And
might
I was
be
like,
wrong,
I'm
but I thought it
questioning.
was-
I'm like, maybe there's different versions depending on which actor they have that day. Like, did they have different voiceover? But I don't know. I liked it more with the lady protagonist.
Yeah, well, she had to go against the queen, so
Yeah.
it made sense. And then
Ah,
it
fair.
was Captain. Oh my! It was Captain EO.
Shush. Don't. You don't need to think about that.
It was Captain EO. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Queen and Captain EO is the original Vecna, floating with all the tentacles.
Oh, it's such a good year. It's
But
such a
also,
good year.
like, we were able to kind of combine our experience. We still got a full RIP tour, and then because the park's open till 2, we still got to hang out with friends a little bit. It's
We
nice.
did.
And we
It was
ran
really
into
cool.
multiple friends. You ran into friends. General ran into friends. We coordinated to purposely run into other friends. Like, so
Yep.
you gotta love Halloween Horror Nights, the
We got
event.
Nene and Jalen and Bobby time.
It's such a
cool.
vibe.
Yeah, I don't know. It was awesome. It was such a fun night. It was a really long night, but it was really good.
We're still feeling the effects. I'm not gonna be able to walk for a week.
No, I'm shot. I'm just
But
gonna
for the
lay
amount
low.
I mean, the fact that we did 14 houses technically in one
Yeah.
night.
Universal, keep doing the awesome stuff with RIP. You're making it better
Yeah.
all the time, and I enjoy that.
It's weird though when we do this so early in the season, the hunt season, and it's only like the beginning of September, and I'm like, all right, next holiday, Christmas, I'm ready for you. I've been
You
drinking
still
the
gotta get
pumpkin
through.
spice since August. I'm already moved on to the next part. I'm already into 2024. I'm celebrating New Year's at this point. Like I'm done with this year.
He's just finishing up her peppermint tea, coffee, whatever
It's
section of life.
peppermint mocha
Oh yeah,
frappuccino time.
my fault. My fault.
Yeah. There was a little chill in the air. It almost felt like fall for like an hour.
Yeah, the last hour was dipped to like 77-ish kind of vibe, but it was
Yeah.
really humid when we started.
It was worth it. It was worth all the
It
work.
was awesome. Oh yeah, totally.
Thank you, Harley. Thank you, Universal Orlando Resort, for being amazing. I've been going to this event since 1996, and I only missed a few years. And it's crazy to think of how it's evolved.
Yeah,
Like
it's
to when it
awesome.
had only 3 houses back then. Like it's so different now.
Crazy. Oh yeah, all this characters, everybody that works the event, that was awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys are great.
Yes.
That
And
Trisha.
when you're Bat Trisha, yeah, especially big
Shout out. Shout out.
And when you're done with the event, we'll take some of those Dueling Dragons giant set pieces off your hands.
Yes, please. I'll take the entryway and put it in front of my house with the dragon on each side. That'd be great. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Adventurers, your quest has already begun.
And
You
now
know what
we're
it reminds me of? It's like, welcome to Jumanji.
That's so good. That's such a good call. That's actually pretty accurate.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, adventurers.